Two groundbreaking Impressionists.
Two masters of light.
Claude Monet made perception the subject. His canvases record atmosphere, time, and shifting light.
Childe Hassam, influenced by Monet, adapted Impressionism to American life, urban scenes, and luminous New England shores.
Today, we examine three masterworks from the Sam and Marilyn Fox collection to discover how Monet's radical act of seeing led to Hassam's distinctly national vision. Monet painted un Parc à Pourville in the summer of 1882 during a long stay in the fishing village of Pourville-sur-Mer on the Normandy coast. He was fascinated by the natural drama of the landscape, the cliffs, the tides, the ever-changing atmosphere. And Monet was drawn to these universal rhythms of nature itself. His subject here isn't really the coastline or even the fisherman's poles we glimpse in the distance. It's the experience of standing before the sea, witnessing the world shift from one instant to the next, the light shift from one instant to the next.
In the same way Monet was the leading French Impressionist, Childe Hassam was the leading American Impressionist. In fact, Hassam's contemporaries called him the American Monet. Hassam goes to Paris in 1886 after being in Boston, where he painted in a much more tonalist, darker manner, and he studies at the Académie Julienne in Paris, and that is really where he learns and absorbs the techniques of the French masters, and that really changes his craft and the way he paints. You see a very tangible transition from pre-Paris and post-Paris. In Paris is really where his palette and his brushstrokes opened up. You see so much more energy, color, and dynamism in all of his compositions, and it's incredibly apparent. Back in New York in 1889, Hassam lived just a short walk from Madison Square. Indian Summer in Madison Square beautifully depicts the fast-paced urban environment that is New York City, depicting a gorgeous young woman seeking refuge amidst the energy of the busy crowd. And like many of his contemporaries, Hassam sought refuge from urban life in the New England coast in the summer months. Newport, October Sundown dates to Hassam's only ever recorded 1901 visit to the famous Rhode Island town. As one of Hassam's most important and rare Newport works, Hassam beautifully captures life on the coast. The church spire, the moored boats, the shoreline architecture, all bathed in a golden sunset.
You can see that Monet's whole approach is about dissolving solid form into light and color. The surface is built from short, intentional strokes, layers of violet, emerald, cobalt, and ruby, each mark carrying a kind of energy, their own pulse. He paints wet into wet with pigments that retain their freshness and vitality. Monet allows his strokes to merge, to breathe, and he erases the boundaries between the rocks, the sea, and the air. And those thin vertical lines in the center are the fisherman's poles, the only sign of human presence, yet even they seem to waver and dissolve into the surrounding light.
While Hassam inherits Impressionist brushwork, he adapts it into something distinctly his own. In Indian Summer in Madison Square, his watercolors and vignettes capture the immediacy of his urban environment with a purposeful yet still liberal stroke. In his Newport painting, painted 9 years later, he is more lavish with his strokes, using layers of dense, tube-fresh pigment on an unprimed support, all with a horizontal brushwork and dazzling chroma to depict the shimmering water and the warm sunset. Hassam keeps form defined. People, churches, harbors remain recognizable as opposed to leaning headfirst into pure feeling.
For Monet, he sought to transform nature's fleeting moods into pure visual sensation. That search became central to modern painting, the idea that a work of art could be both observation and experience, a moment of seeing made visible.
Hassam applies these means innovatively to his subjects, making his distinct brand of modernism speak to civic life and local memory. Both painters shaped artists that would follow in their footsteps, Monet by opening paths to abstraction and perceptual art, Hassam by paving the way to modern painting in a distinctly American context.
The Sam and Marilyn Fox collection offers us a rare chance to see the two paths forward for modern art side by side,
How radical vision can become intimate memory.
and how light can both dissolve the world and make it unmistakably our own,
Both Impressionists take us
beyond the brushstroke.